I would like to go through some my current work, that what I'm doing right now. And the second part of my talk, I will discuss a little bit about the life cycle of coronavirus that everyone should know a little bit. That's why I choose this topic. And I will talk all my presentation in Hindi and English both, so that many people can understand. And मेरे मम्मी पापा भी देख रहे हैं इस समय. Okay, so first part, I want to discuss what I do in my current lab right now. So I'm working on the gene therapy. So what is gene therapy? So gene therapy is something like, as you know, that the whole body is made by the tissue, and tissue is made by the cells. So this is one of the cell, how its cells look like. So each cell contains plasma membrane and the cytoplasm and the chromosome. And each chromosome contains very long piece of nucleic acid called DNA. And certain fragment of DNA is called gene. And gene have a certain function, right? So what if have something wrong in the gene, and because of the something wrong in the gene, it behave differently, the function. So this is called the disease. अगर जीन में अगर एक जीन का कोई एक फंक्शन है, अगर उस जीन को अगर हम किसी कारणवश उसमें प्रॉब्लम आ गई, काम नहीं कर रहा है, तो वो जो है एक बीमारी का कारण बनता है. ठीक है. तो नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हम जो है उस जीन को फिक्स कैसे करेंगे, कैसे हम उस जीन को पहले जैसा करेंगे फिक्स. तो जीन को फिक्स करने के लिए दो तरीके हैं. पहला तरीका है एक्स वाइवो जीन थेरेपी, और दूसरा तरीका है इन वाइवो जीन थेरेपी. एक्स वाइवो जीन थेरेपी में क्या होता है कि अगर हम किसी पेशेंट जिसको जेनेटिक प्रॉब्लम है, अगर उसके शरीर से हम कोई टिश्यू बाहर निकाल लें जिसमें वो प्रॉब्लम है, और उस टिश्यू कल्चर को वी कैन ग्रो इन द लैब, and artificially we can fix the gene in the lab in vitro system. And then after fixing this tissue, we can put back in the patient. And now patient body organ start working because of the tissue is fixed now. So this is called ex vivo gene therapy. Okay, so second therapy is in vivo gene therapy that I am working with is, if you know the gene sequence, if you know the problem, like what kind of gene has got something wrong that not working properly, we can design the gene by ourselves, either by synthesis or we can clone it artificially, right? And we can fix the sequence of the gene or DNA. And after fixing it, we can put this gene back in the patient. So this procedure is called in vivo gene therapy, right? So my current work is focusing on in vivo gene therapy. All right. How in vivo gene therapy work and what kind of in vivo gene therapy is? There are so many kind of in vivo gene therapy based on the delivery system of your genetic material. For example, number 1 and 2 is like synthetic or biodegradable polymer, or the any kind of liposome lipid biolayer. So this is biologically, chemically same as our cell membrane look like. So we can use as a tool to put the DNA in this lipid biolayer and inject into the patient. You can, आप ऐसे कह सकते हो कि जैसे कि एक ऑयल का ड्रॉप है, अगर उस ऑयल के ड्रॉप में हम कुछ हम ऐसा इंजेक्ट कर दें जो ऑयल के ड्रॉप के बीच में रहे, फिर हम ऑयल के ड्रॉप को हम पेशेंट के सिस्टम में डाल दें। क्योंकि ऑयल एक फैटी एसिड से बना होता है और ह्यूमन बॉडी का जो सेल मेम्ब्रेन होता है वो भी फैटी एसिड का भी बना होता है, तो काफी सिमिलर स्ट्रक्चर होता है, तो बहुत इजीली उसमें मिक्स हो जाता है। मेम्ब्रेन आपस में इस तरह से ड्रॉप जाएगा, खुलेगा, वो मिक्स भी हो जाएगा, वो मेम्ब्रेन थोड़ा सा बड़ा हो जाएगा सेल का, बस इतना ही अंतर होगा। और जेनेटिक मटेरियल जिसको डिलीवरी करना है वो अंदर सेल के अंदर चला जाएगा। ठीक है। नंबर 3 है इलेक्ट्रोपोरेशन और जीन गन। इसमें क्या होता है कि जैसे डीएनए होता है, आयनिक चार्ज होते हैं, उसमें नेगेटिव चार्ज होते हैं। अगर हम किसी इस तरह से हम इलेक्ट्रोड सेट करें, पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव, और इस तरह से हम फोर्स करें कि नेगेटिव DNA charge can go inside the cell in such a way that cell become a positive, and in this way we can press the button and directly gene insert to the cell. However, these are the not very possible in like clinical model, but this is very good model for the research in the cell line in vitro system. The number 4th one is virus based gene delivery that I am working with right now. So why I choose the virus? As we know that the virus is a small particle, it's very simple structure, and outer layer you can see they're made by the protein called capsid, and each virus have their own kind of genetic material, either DNA or RNA or single stranded RNA or double stranded RNA, right? So the virus that I'm using as a gene delivery system is this virus called as adeno-associated virus. So how this is work in general? So this virus go in the human body and target to the cell, and it go inside the cell. And since virus have their own genetic material, as you can see the black shadow of the genetic material. I don't know if you are able to see my cursor. So that's DNA arrest the host cell in such a way that host cell synthesize the so many protein particle, and these protein particle become assembled together and become a new virus. This is kind of virus reproduction. So this is how adeno-associated virus work. And the newly formed adeno-associated virus infect to the neighbor cells and so on. Okay, so how I'm gonna taking advantage of this tool, what we did, this is a wild type adeno-associated virus. So what we did, we changed the genetic sequence of this virus in such a way that this virus have ability to infect the cell, but it cannot divide by itself. All right, so now this virus, we are taking advantage that this virus doesn't know that we change their DNA. So this virus still have ability to infect the cell and release their genetic DNA into the cell nucleus. And after the release of the genetic material, virus itself die or degenerate over there and dissolve. So our problem is solved. Like we are using this virus as a carrier of any genetic material that I really want. Like anyone, if you want to target any gene of interest in any patient or any animal, put those gene in this virus and inject this virus to the patient or liver, kidney, anywhere, and this virus deliver your genetic material there, and this genetic material start working on and produce a protein, and protein start working as a function, and the disease will cure. However, adeno-associated virus gene therapy is not very new enough or not very old enough to use in the clinical system. However, recently, a lot of people choosing AAV-based gene therapy in clinical model directly to the patient. So recently, one patient in America, he got something problem in the retina because it cannot produce certain protein in the retina, and he won't able to see it. Something wrong with his vision. So what scientists does, so they artificially synthesize the gene in correct way and package into the adeno-associated virus and directly inject in the eye of the patient. At the result, virus express the protein of interest that they targeted, and protein start working it, and finally, patient able to see it. So based on this information, we can say that adeno-associated virus recently, a lot of companies now are using as a in clinical model. So what I do custom gene cloning. Like for example, I provide a service for in all over the America or anyone outside the America. And if you are studying a certain gene of interest, you want to target in mouse model, cell line, and you ask me, can you please give me this gene? And I want to mutate certain kind of mutation in your DNA. I can do this for you. And after this DNA preparation, I can package into adeno-associated virus. And then I give it to you, give back to you. And then you do whatever you like to do. I don't care. So here, what people does, they can inject in the liver, they can inject in the brain, they can anywhere they like based on their study. Okay, this was my last slide of my first part, that I work for the virus vector core, that I provide a service for custom gene cloning as well as virus packaging. So before I go to the next part two, I would like to, I can take a couple of questions if you guys have any, or I can take the comment. Subedar sir.
Ramesh sir, please proceed. We will take the question at last in the comment box.
Okay, so this was my part one. Now next, I thought I could cover some, everyone know about the coronavirus pandemic situation. And I thought I could cover some aspect of this virus. As you can see, this image is like, the virus is so many kind, so many shapes, so many size, and so many kind of genetic material, so many kinds of capsid protein. And the full name of coronavirus is Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2, SARS-CoV-2. The COVID-19 is the name of the disease caused by coronavirus. And why his name is coronavirus? Because because their outer membrane protein is look like a crown. If you see detailed structure of coronavirus, this is how exactly look like. If you see carefully, these viruses are very simple structure. Actually, all the viruses have very simple structure. Outer membrane, and outer membrane have certain kind of protein. In this case, you can see the spike protein. And this spike protein is very, very important for this virus to anchor in the lung of the patient. And you can see the inside of this virus is something chromatin-like structure. This is virus genomic nucleic acid. In this case, this is not a DNA, this is RNA. So this is very simple structure. Since virus have very simple structure, that's why all the viruses are very dangerous, because this is very hard to target. Virus do not have any mouth, nose, eyes, or any kind of system. That's why it can survive in adverse condition. That's why it's very hard to target this virus or any kind of virus. Why coronavirus is dangerous than other regular virus or influenza virus or flu virus? As you can see, in case of flu, first part is reproductive number. In case of influenza flu virus, reproductive number is 1.3. That means if one person got influenza virus, he can infect at least 1.3%. 1 and 0.3%. I don't know how they calculate. Okay. And in case of COVID-19, it infects 2 to 2.5 people. So you can see here, the reproductive number of coronavirus is higher than influenza virus. Number 2 is incubation period of both viruses is different. In case of flu virus, incubation period is 1 to 4 days, right? And on the other hand, incubation period for COVID-19 is almost 2 weeks or more than 2 weeks. If the incubation period is longer, that means the person who have COVID-19, he carry their germ with them for 2 weeks, and there is more possibility to transmit to the another person. Their symptoms are very dynamic. As flu, you know that they have very common cold, fever, and cough. But in case of coronavirus, their symptoms are still, people don't know. Every day are learning new things. So here is a few lines that I note for this talk. Patient got pneumonia, but very different kind of pneumonia. This is not, most of the patient got regular pneumonia, but some cases, they have very special kind of pneumonia that doctor even don't know how to deal with this. Blood clot. So some of the patient die just because of the blood clot. Heart problem. And some patient go into the coma. So their symptoms are still very dynamic. People are still learning on this situation to deal with this virus. And last but not least, and this is just my opinion, maybe I'm wrong here. Flu, in the case of flu, it can infect anyone. Any race, Asian, American, European, anyone. Any gender, male, female, any age, kids, or old elderly people, anyone. But in case of COVID-19, based on some recent study, but this is not very confirmed news yet, that some race got more infection than other race. For example, in case of America, there's two more most population black and white, and based on the news data, black race have more chance of get infection and more lethal rate as well as compared to the white people. So this is still a mystery, and people are still looking for why this is happening. There is some fact, but I don't want to discuss here because I'm 100% not sure. Sex, gender is also variable in case of COVID-19. For example, if you see the beginning data, like male is got more infection and more lethal than female. But later on, now male and female got equal infection. So based on the gender, this is just my opinion. This is not the part of research. I'm assuming that in America or in most of the other developed countries, the male might like smoke more than female. So I'm assuming their lung have have less tolerable against this virus. That's why maybe men got more infection than women. And also kids, the kids also got infection, but most of the kids are asymptomatic. On the other hand, like more elderly people, they have most symptomatic and more lethal rate as well. But this fact is also not true as well, because in current situation, if you see the current data, like kids are also dying from this virus. So no one knows what is going on. Okay. Now I want to talk about the transmission procedure and also what happens once virus go inside the lung. Everyone know that this transmission occur via droplet, contact, or vomits. Vomit means just like from clothes, mask, something. Once someone sneeze or cough, this virus can go in the healthy person lung, either by droplet contact or touch or vomits. And this virus can stay for at least 2 weeks, 2 days to 14 days. During these 14 days, there's 2 things happen. First thing, nothing happened. Maybe the person who got transmission, coronavirus infection, maybe he got nothing. He might doesn't know like he have a COVID-19 coronavirus in their lung system. This kind of person is called asymptomatic. That means the person have this virus, but person is not showing any kind of symptom or any kind of disease. Based on the current study, more than 80% people are asymptomatic or very mild symptom, like maybe cough or sneeze or fever, very mild. Why this is happening? Why this is very dangerous virus is asymptomatic in 80% people? So this is also mystery. So why asymptomatic? There is 2 possible reasons. One is because of the immune system. Immune system made by 2 things: macrophage that work with the T cell and antibody. T cell is kind of acute immune response, innate immune response. It acts very quickly, very fast. Making antibodies take more time, but macrophage work very quickly, because virus infected to the cell and virus need to kill from the cell, so it requires a certain machinery system. It's called macrophage. So these macrophage, and based on that T cell and antibody, they work together and they try to destroy the virus. And if they are successful, virus will die and the patient become asymptomatic. On the other hand, other 20% of people got severely symptomatic symptoms. So what happened after virus go into the lung? You can see the left-hand side this is a lung alveoli, अंगूर के गुच्छे की तरह से जो दिख रहा है. Inside the lung, there's so many अंगूर का गुच्छा like this. Or each अंगूर is called alveoli. So here is one alveoli that I make on the right-hand side panel. This is how one alveoli look like. You can see the function of alveoli is entering of oxygen gas and releasing carbon dioxide. That's each and every alveoli work. And after the virus enter, virus can go into the alveoli and bind to the inner membrane cells of alveoli. Then virus enter into the inside the cell. After entering the cell, it bind to the surface of the inner membrane protein with the help of ACE2. Now, this is very important to know about ACE protein. And now researchers are targeting to how this virus cannot bind to the ACE protein, what we can do the change in such a way that it cannot bind to the ACE second. So this is matter of research. So after binding to this ACE membrane protein, and virus enter into the inner membrane inner membrane cells, and this process called endocytosis. As we know that the coronavirus contained genetic material as a RNA, it released the RNA outside in the cytoplasm of host cell. And then coronavirus arrest the machinery system of this cell. And in this case, first they attack on the ribosome. The function of ribosome is synthesize the protein. First thing first, the parasite RNA bind to the ribosome and start producing the protein. So in this case, RNA polymerase. As you can see, their name is polymerase. That means it synthesized so many other nucleic acids by using this protein. And it can make so many protein particles that these particles become part of the virus. And these particles go into the host Golgi body. And this protein get assembled together, and Golgi body become this kind of circle you can see here, and it release outside.
कर पा रहे हैं, सब कुछ ना सुन पा रहे हैं और बाकी सारा काम कर पा रहे हैं ना? नहीं, आपको बोलना होगा तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है ना? ठीक ठीक ठीक.
Okay. So now you can see the one virus can make so many viruses, tons of virus from one cell inside the alveoli of one cell in the lung. So now you can imagine like how many virus enter in the alveoli in two different lungs, and how many virus they are releasing from each cells. It could take somewhere 2 days to 14 days to this process. Okay. What about this host cell? What going to be happen to this host cell? First thing first, because our innate immune system, the body do not want to die these cells. We want to recover the cells through the inflammation by releasing some local interleukins, cytokines, interferons. This is kind of primary defense system to fight against this virus. And this sometimes this is also have bad effect on their host cell as well. After releasing of cytokine and interferon, and it triggered to the some nerve ending.
चला था ना? ठीक ठीक.
So this cytokine and some interferon hit to the neighbor's nerve ending, which is associated with the cough. At this time point, the patient start feeling coughing. उसको dry खांसी यहाँ से आना शुरू होता है. And these cytokine interferon also stimulate to increase the body temperature. This is called fever. So fever is also part of defense mechanism to kill this virus. As we know that like once we increase the temperature of the body, the virus might be die. So hosts have they're trying their best to kill this virus. And if they fail, this become a disease. Okay, so after this inflammation, there is a neighboring blood capillaries working with the blood capillaries as well as their membrane start weakening, start and breaking. At the result, there's some liquid from outside enter into the alveoli and its solution go inside the alveoli and it start filling up. And at this situation is called hypoxemia. Hypoxemia means there is no possibility to exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen on those cells where there is liquid or spread. At the result, all the alveoli start breaking and finally collapse. After the collapse, as you know that the function of alveoli is exchange of gas, and this alveoli is not working anymore. It's not exchanging of gas anymore. And this situation and this kind of situation is called acute respiratory distress syndrome. And after the collapse of this alveoli, it sends the neighboring capillaries are feeling that there is less oxygen supply in the blood. So it sends message to the heart to pump more, to give me oxygen enough in the lung. And then heart have to some extra work. And sometimes sometimes his heart got failure. And failure of the heart in this condition called tachycardia. And then this heart send message to the brain, and brain ask lung to breathe more. बॉटम लाइन स्टोरी कि आपको सांस लेना है बराबर. अगर आपका एल्वेओलाई ब्रेक हो गया लेकिन आपको डीपली सांस लेते रहना है. वैसे भी आपने सुना होगा कि एल्वेओलाई में कुछ ऐसे स्पेस होते हैं कि जो ना तो ऑक्सीजन वहां जाता है ना तो वहां से कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड आता है. उसको बोलते हैं डेड एरिया. अगर आपने सुना होगा कि टेक अ डीप ब्रेथ, टेक अ डीप ब्रेथ एंड होल्ड, डीप ब्रेथ एंड होल्ड. दैट मीन्स जब आप डीप ब्रेथ लेते हैं तो आप यू आर फोर्सफुली फोर्सिंग ऑक्सीजन टू गो इनसाइड द डेड जोन ऑफ सम एल्वेओलाई. तो आपने बहुत से मैसेज व्हाट्सएप पे अभी देखा होगा कि आप सांस लेने से भी ये कोरोना वायरस से बचा जा सकता है. तो मे बी वो भी इसका एक पार्ट हो. Okay, so this is all about the disease and what is the current situation going on about coronavirus. First thing first, we need a medicine, we need a drug, we need a treatment. There is no treatment, there is no drug known so far. There is some, but not 100% sure yet. At the very beginning, they were thinking about chloroquine, and now chloroquine is not working. Now there is another drug, I forget the name. But still, people are working on the chemotherapy of this virus. But vaccine is much easier than making a medicine. But vaccine take more time to make a vaccine. I mean to say, making vaccine is very straightforward. Only this is time matters. And making a medicine is very fast, but it's very hard to find which drug is going to work. Okay, what is vaccine? Vaccine is substance that stimulate the production of antibody and provide the immunity against the particular germs that you're looking for. There's two kind of vaccine. There's two steps of the vaccine. First is preclinical development that include identification of targets. And you can test the vaccine in vitro model in animals before you inject to any human being. So what do you mean by identification of target? So you can see this virus again. There is a RNA inside, there is a membrane, and there is some protein outside called spike protein. So first thing first, the researcher want to target which part of the virus you want to target. Spike protein, RNA, or any other protein. So researcher try everything, especially for coronavirus, they are trying each and every things possible. They can make a vaccine. So I can go through very brief, like how they make. For example, if you want to make a vaccine against a spike protein that you're looking outside, so you can just purify this protein and inject this protein in some, like let's say in a rabbit. And the rabbit start making antibody against this protein. And finally, we can collect the blood from those rabbits and purify the antibody that they generated. And now this is called vaccine. And now this vaccine inject to the human. And once this virus infect this human, because of the antibodies already in their body, so it's going to be kites like this. And with the help of innate immune system, will kill and destroy. So this is preclinical development. So once they succeed, like once they find like, oh, this antibody is working very good, and let's test this animal, oh, it's working very good as well. Let's move to the patient level, clinical model. So entering in clinical model is not very easy as well. It's a lot of government rules and regulation, ethics required. But it goes phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, a trial with some people and some other country, not this country, and so on. And some volunteer, like whoever make a vaccine, they advertise that I am looking for some volunteer. If you want to inject the antibody in yourself, we want to study on you. So anyone can volunteer yourself. And I am also part of research of vaccine as a volunteer. So I registered my name as a volunteer. Like if you find any vaccine, I am here. You can inject on in my body of this vaccine, and you can study on me. And so this is not very easy process as well. It requires a lot of screenings and your all the past and your future projection of your body, metabolism and everything. So I clear first screening so far. So I hope I will get the injection of this vaccine of coronavirus soon. I don't know. Okay, so what is the status of number of countries that claiming that we have antibody almost ready, vaccine ready? You can see the bottom left panel has North America, China, Europe, Asia, and Australia trying to screen some vaccine. You can see the number of vaccine, 28, 5, and blah, 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 blah. However, none of the vaccine have tested in the patient level yet. How they have tested in the healthy person, but not in patient level. Does vaccine work in case of coronavirus? Is going to work or not? So as we know that the development of vaccine is required very long procedure. It is required very long collaboration from so many countries, so many laboratory work together, and then they discovered a very good antibody as a vaccine in at least 3 to 5 years, ideally. But because of the pandemic situation, everyone trying to go very, very fast. They are like cutting some screening steps. So, and there is some competition among the countries and also competition among the company to make this vaccine. So next challenge is whether this vaccine going to work or not. The number one you can see is mutation. What if the virus get mutation? Does vaccine going to work? Answer is no. And this virus had, based on the China published the genomic sequence of this virus at the very beginning of, I think, February. And based on those data, this virus have a strong ability of mutation. If you make a vaccine, if you inject yourself and later on you got infected with this virus, it's not guaranteed that you will be safe. Oh, here is why. In case of influenza flu, which is very, very common in developed country and cold country, especially also in America. So each and every American must have to get vaccination from flu virus every year, each and every year. Why? Because influenza virus getting mutation every year. That's why everyone has to inject, go through the vaccination. And this is just my personal opinion that coronavirus have more affinity of mutation. So I'm not sure that vaccine going to work for all of them. And if antibody work or vaccine works, so I don't know how they're going to distribute and how they're going to reach to the correct people. Okay, so number two, vaccine is work in certain age. It work better if they are kids, smaller age. As soon you grow up, antibodies have less ability to work in your body. So again, the coronavirus most killing people is elderly people, more than 60 or 55-year-old people. And vaccine is not going to help them again. So vaccine is not a solution, but there is a hope that it could control this virus. Okay, how to protect yourself to prevent the coronavirus infection? I'm going to skip this slide because everyone knows that how to prevent yourself to prevent the COVID-19 infection. So Professor Subedar Yadav asked me very beginning, I will ask this question. Why America has most infection? Still America is very developed country and blah, blah, blah. And why they cannot control this disease. So I try to do some research on this so that I can discuss with you guys here. First, number one is international movement. As you know that this disease start from China. And Americans are like everywhere, each and every country. They travel a lot for personal reason or official reason, they are everywhere. As soon they hear about coronavirus, COVID-19, they try to run away to reach to the America. If America ban flight from China to America, they go to the Europe and they go to another country, they to another country to try to find the loophole to reach to home. So they have a lot of money. They have no problem to spend the money to buy a ticket. They can go from any other country. They don't need a visa. Americans don't need a visa to go most of the country. Visa on arrival. So they choose the loophole to reach to the America. And this is also one of the reason that they are carry their germ with them back to the America. Number two is average lifespan. As we know that most of the developed country and cold country, average lifespan is higher than the underdeveloped or developing country. for example, India versus Europe, India versus America. Like more elderly people in America than India. And as you know that these viruses target more like old people, more than like 60, 65, 70-year-old people. And people in America is never retired. They never retire, never ever. There is no definition of retired in America. You can do work as long you want. No one going to stop you. After a 60 or 65 year, you become like, you get promoted actually. So you have less work. You have no physical work, but you can help other new people, students, professors, you know. So they work each and every day. 80-year people, 85-year, 90-year people, they work. And why they work? Then another reason is loneliness in America. People are alone, loneliness. Parents are live alone. If one of the spouse die, male or female, they are in home alone. Is like 80-year-old people living in home alone. So he don't want to stay in home. So he want to work. He want to go outside. So he volunteer himself that I want to work with, I don't need any salary, but I need a job. So people work here. So they are very active. And as you know, that these are the people get easily infected from the virus, and result, you can see that. Number 3, underlying disease condition. And coronavirus has more lethal with the person who have already certain kind of underlying disease like obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. And these 3 diseases are very common in America, and especially in like developed country. And number 4, essential service is open. As we know that all the service is under lockdown, is closed in India. But if you see the definition of essential service in America is open. Coffee shop is open because this is essential. Why this is essential? Because like if the hospital is open, people need a coffee. They need a break. They need a breakfast. Who's going to provide a service? So coffee shop is open. Bank is open. If you need a money, you need a cash, you need to go bank, you can do whatever you like to do. So bank is essential. So by using this kind of loopholes, there's so many services still open in America. And this is also one of the cause of increasing number of transmission in America. Here is some bad habit, number 5, habit. Here is some bad habit of American peoples. Cigarette, they smoke a lot. They are already underlying. And mask, they don't like to put the mask on the face. They just don't. I don't know why. They just don't like to put the mask. And they go everywhere. They go to the garden, they go for walk, they go for jogging. They don't use mask. Even you can know that our US president is also never wear a mask, and he said that I'm not going to wear a mask. And the last but not least is the test. This test is increased. Anyone? Okay, someone saying it's fast. So I'm done. This is last slide. Thank you.